Chris Dale.
Richard James.
Tell us what on earth is coming up this week.
Well, there's an interview with Yasuko Nagazumi and also Suzanne Peterson.
We've got some Voice of the Podsterons.
And we'll be watching a random episode of a random Gerry Anderson series right here on the Gerry Anderson podcast.
The Gerry Anderson Podcast with Jamie Anderson, Richard James and Chris Dale.
Welcome, one and all.
Welcome.
To the Gerry Anderson podcast. This is our opportunity and your opportunity to celebrate all things Gerry Anderson.
Yes, look at all this wonderful stuff we have here.
I know.
This one, that one.
And this is just a fragrant nosegay, as Terry Wogan used to say.
A fragrant
A
nosegay.
little mere dip in the ocean of what's available in the Gerry Anderson universe in terms of merch
And in our
toys.
podcast toy box.
Yes, exactly. It's about time we gave it a bit of a refresh, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a lot of very old stuff here.
Maybe we'll get one of those huge Thunderbird 4s to put on the table soon. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
I actually could have brought it.
You could have, but you didn't.
Sorry.
Curses! Anyway, you're with us again. We know you love to join us every week and watch our premiere on YouTube at 7 o'clock because you comment beneath. And many of you watch it live. I say live, obviously we're not there live,
No,
but it premieres.
we're not here now.
No, that's right, that's true. Chris, would you like to read the first comment from a previous
I
YouTube
would love
video?
to. And this is from Pod358.
Oh, yes.
Lewis Hutch
Yep.
says, 2 overlooked things from the first episode of Captain Scarlet, which was the episode we watched
Great.
that week.
Yeah.
Love the first episode of Captain Scarlet.
Yes.
In the control room on Cloudbase, Lieutenant Green has a headrest on his chair, which would disappear come the second episode.
Oh.
Why are you smirking, Ross?
I'm like, yeah, okay.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
noticing
And Colonel
that.
White has a different chair at his desk, which would be replaced by a better one, also in the second episode. So there we go.
Right.
I guess, I
Yeah.
don't know, they thought, well, we're in it for the long haul now, fighting
Yeah.
the Mysterons, let's get some decent furniture in here.
Oh, I see, you're looking for an
In
in-universe.
universe. I'm always looking for an in-universe
explanation.
explanation.
That's great. Okay. MB2000 says, this has got to be a very expensive episode for Spectrum. They lose an entire building and everyone in it.
Yes.
3 saloon cars, an MSV, an SPV, an SPJ, and a helicopter. Plus, there'll be funerals for Brown and original Scarlet, and probably compensation for whoever the unmanned SPJ and wrecked car view crashed on.
Yeah, and they lost Captain Black as well.
Do you
And the
think,
Zero X crew, presumably. Yeah.
do you think they have to pay for all the damage that's caused in every episode? That's hilarious. That's a very good insurance.
I don't think Colonel White would pay out somehow. I think he would give them a patriotic speech and then send them on their way.
I would love to see an episode with Karen in accounts, who has to sort out all the insurance claims from each particular episode.
Lieutenant Karen, yes.
I think Chris Dale could edit something like that with Captain Magenta accounting.
Oh gosh, can you imagine if he was doing the
Chris,
taxes? Yes.
over to you. And a final one there for you, Ross.
Keith Parker, 6520. Captain Scarlet, the last good series until UFO.
Okay, so he's discounting what, Joe 90's Secret
Joe 90
Service?
Secret Service.
And beyond.
all other TV shows that
Ouch.
aired until UFO, presumably.
Oh, not just in the Gerry Anderson universe.
Well, I mean,
all
the
other
last good
series.
series.
Fair enough.
Of any TV show
anything ever,
possibly.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Brave.
Yeah.
What do you think, Podsterons? Let us know. podcast@gerryanderson.com. Now, for the last few weeks, you might have noticed we have a change of personnel.
Oh, yes.
Ross is joining us in Jamie's place because Jamie
can't
unavailable.
be bothered.
He's elsewhere. It'd be nice to see him in the flesh. I wonder when that'll happen.
Yeah,
Christmas?
maybe when Ross goes. Yeah.
You going somewhere?
To Malta.
Lovely.
Malta.
Now, Chris, for our special feature this week, we've had enough of Ross, frankly. So
Well,
let's
me
turn to an experience or two that you had at Heathrow a few months ago.
With Ross. Yes, at Heathrow a few months ago,
Yep.
September, there was a wonderful Space 1999 convention
Yeah.
with lots of lovely guests.
Yeah.
People like, Richard, who did you see? Name a few.
Oh, Peter Duncan. Anton Phillips.
Anton Phillips, lovely Anton.
Christian
yes.
Anholt.
Christian Anholt, yes.
yeah.
Lots and lots and lots of
absolutely,
people.
yeah.
And we were very busy, weren't we, Ross, grabbing people, whether they wanted to or not, to come and be interviewed about Space 1999 and whatever they felt like sharing, basically.
Great.
So this week we have got a sort of dual interview
Yeah.
with the lovely Yasuko Nagazumi, who was in The Protectors and Space 1999,
Yeah.
and also Suzanne Peterson, who was Barbara Bain's stand-in.
Great.
Should we watch that now?
Let's have a look. Yeah.
I'm still so grateful that I came to London after university in Tokyo. I moved here because I came here to become to study English literature because I always liked those English classic literature, and then that I wanted to study that. After a couple of years of study here, I was planning to go back to live in Tokyo to be a school teacher. But then, about less than 1 month after when I arrived here, somebody approached me and said that you are staying at the community where I'm staying, and I'm a photographer. And then he introduced himself, he took a picture of me, and then that became a cover of the magazine called London Life. And then that's the time that producer for the feature films called Deadlier Than the Male. And it was with Richard Johnson and then Elke Sommer, the German actress. I got the call from them, and then when I realized I was in the south of Italy doing the feature films, and I said to them when I was approached, I said I'd never acted in my life, not even as a amateur, that the theatrical group. So I don't know what to do. What do I have to do? And they said, don't worry, Richard Johnson and Elke Sommer will teach you what to do. And then they become my teacher. And then I did the film, and then after that, because when I was in that movie doing the Deadlier Than the Male, I got the call through, I got the so-called agency, and then the agency said that there was a call from producer of James Bond movie, and then they just came back from Japan, and they still haven't completed it, and there's a part that here and there we need a real Japanese actress, and then you are the only Japanese actress which has a union card in England. So would you like to do that? And I said, yeah, I'll be available. I work all over the world. But then I was contacted by Sylvia Anderson and Gerry Anderson, and they cast me for that series called Protectors before the Space 1999, and it was with Robert Vaughn and Tony Anholt. It is a kind of a detective story, and then but Robert Vaughn was another very nice human being, and also especially Tony Anholt was a very kind, very gentle, very sweet person. Narendra Porter was there too. Yeah, but most of my scene, because my part was I was like that I was a protector of Robert Vaughn, and then I'm supposed to be a karate expert, and so that's the thing. So I hardly got involved with Narendra Porter. I was always with Robert Vaughn and also some bad people, and then that I was a karate expert, and then that Tony Anholt was my part. And it was a half-an-hour program, so it was moving very quickly, and then that's that. And then after that, the season was finished, and then the second year of Space 1999, so I started that. The Protectors producer was Sylvia Anderson and Gerry Anderson, so they know what I can do and what I cannot do. So no audition, I straight away was cast.
My name was Suzanne Heimer at the time, and I was the stand-in and double for Barbara Bain on both series of Space 1999.
I got to know one of the director of Space 1999, Ray Austin, and then eventually we got married.
One of the assistants rang me up and said, was I free? This is the first episode. Was I free for this series? And I said, yes, all right, because it was a regular income, because I was a single mother and I had a child. So I thought, right, well, I'll do it.
And then because Ray wanted to work in Hollywood as a director, that's why we left England and went to LA to live. and then we went through divorce.
And I knew I knew nearly all the crew on Space, on the assistants and the camera guys. I was the same height as Barbara. She had short hair, I had long hair. We were the same size, so I used to do her doubling as well. Not her stunt doubling. Her stunt double was Dorothy Ford. Yeah, she used to do her stunts.
In the part I had in the Space 1999, lots of people stepped out for the story to the outside spaceship, but my part was always sitting at the desk and then going through the computer and the laptop and then looking at the screen and all that. So I never even stepped out from that thing.
Tony Anholt was lovely. He was lovely. So sad that he passed. Very friendly guy, very nice guy.
He stepped out and there were lots of drama outside, especially and at all the other people, and Barbara and Martin was always, and then Catherine especially was out doing lots of other scenes with that around the Pinewood studio.
There were so many things. Return of the Saint was going on. The Bond stage. I think, there were a lot of productions going on because Pinewood is and was a big studio. It's even bigger now, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you can't get in now, where you used to go through the gate and Tom would be on the gate and he knew everybody and we used to drive in, morning Tom, and go. But now I know that you cannot, it's like a fortress trying to get in there.
Most of the guest stars which came in, they were always at the outside scenery, and then they were the kind of, another, they weren't even a human or, some other out of space thing. And I was never in that scene, so I really hardly remember, because I was always, not that day I wasn't, because that the movie, that the production, all this movie production, they don't do it according to the story of that, they just put everything together. The day they were outside, they do all the scenes of outside on that day, and then they come back to the space and then do all that. So, that's the way. And then the editor edited and then all that. So I was never there when there was a scene they were filming outside a spaceship. So my scene was only in the space, inside a spaceship, and all this thing. So, I don't really remember too well. And then since I was born, science fiction was not my favorite subject. So, but then I was cast. But so that I always like a detective story. I read lots of detective story, but I never read the science fiction novel or anything. So that really puzzled me. But my scene was there at the desk. So yeah, it was. And then but all the people that the regular cast.
I love Xenia. She was lovely, lovely lady. I hadn't seen her for many years, and I was sorry to hear that she'd passed away. Anton, I speak to regularly now. We're still in contact. Clifton, very sad life he's had, and I'm very fond of Clifton. He's a sweet man. And he was a wonderful actor, and he had such a sad time when he finished Space. He'd bought a flat, I think, in Chelsea, and then he decided to go to America, and there were writers' strike, and he lost money, and he lost his flat, and he was living on the streets for quite a few years. And now he's just a little flat in just off of Ladbroke Grove, and he's quite happy.
And also the guest people, they were always very, very nice.
Peter Cushing, lovely, delightful man, a lovely man, warm. Then you had Christopher Lee. Not, I didn't care if he was a good actor, but I didn't. He never spoke to anybody. Joan Collins never spoke to anybody.
Another thing is it shows that I was given first the name of my character was just a regular English woman's name. And then it was Martin Landau who said to everyone, hey, Yasuko is Japanese. And then, he doesn't, it is not that the samurai story or anything, but the thing is, that instead of this English woman's name, let's name her Yasuko, Yasko, which sounds like a Japanese woman's name, and then that's true. In Japanese, if you say Yasuko, and they'll say, what? And then, because they pronounce it Yasuko, and then Martin knew that.
Martin Landau was a very friendly man. That's all I can say. He wasn't with me, but he was with a lot of other people, which I found really embarrassing, actually. But he was a very good actor, and he was all right, Martin. He was okay. Barbara was very good to me. I mean, that's all I can say. She knew that I was on my own. I'd split up with my son's father, and she knew I was on my own. And she was lovely. When Justin used to come down to the set, she was really sweet to him. And it was nice that when I saw her 4 years ago in the States, she's much warmer now. She's a lot warmer. I think she had problems with Martin. But I remember they had a break. They wanted to have a holiday. And she knew that I wouldn't be working, and they both of them paid for us to have so I could take my son away on holiday. Barry Morse was a gentleman. That's all I can say about Barry. He was just a gentleman. We sit and do crosswords together, which is nice. No, he was lovely.
Sylvia and that Gerry's house was not too far from the Pine Studio or that area. A couple of times I went to their house, and then I met the first son. He was a little boy then.
Gerry wasn't very friendly. Sylvia was lovely. I'm sorry to say that. He was what he was, and there you go. But Sylvia was really nice, and she was very friendly and very pleasant. And it doesn't take a lot to say good morning, hello, how are you? She was just, and she'd sit and chat. She was lovely. But that's it. I better not say any more. No.
They had a very wonderful house with a swimming pool. And I mean, in England, to have a house in this cold weather, a swimming pool, it's very special.
It was quite exhausting because, we would it was a lot of unions then. So you had to ask if you had to work late. And if you had a hot day like we did, we had that hot summer, and we were on the set. I mean, the sets were great. They were fantastic. The main mission, it was very well done for that time of the year in the 70s. And I don't understand why they didn't make a third series, to be honest with you, because even now, I look at it. I've watched episodes, and I think that how far ahead. It's a shame they can't do another series, because it was really good. The sets were good. They weren't like you. If there was another thing that I worked on, Star Maidens at Bray, and you walked on the sets there, and it would be all moving, because I think it was a very cheap production. But no, space sets, the main mission was really good. Really good. And we all got on with it. We all got on well.
Average day was always, I was caught, that I was given the scripts and all that.
I'd get there about 8 o'clock, 7:45, then I had to sort of, if I was standing in, I would have to wear the same colours as what she was wearing, which is nearly all beige, those uniforms.
And then, of course, because I'm not the technical person at all, so what I had to say on the script is so technical, and I was so nervous, so I tried to remember those little details.
Go on the set, lighting, watch her rehearse, do all the watch them rehearse each move, and then Frank Watts, who was the lighting cameraman, would light the set and light me.
And then at my part is just wear that uniform and then sit on the table. And I never left the table, the desk with a TV screen. So that's my experience with Space 1999.
She would come on and do her bit, do the scene. I'd be sitting at the back. She'd do the scene, then they'd set up the next scene, or then I might have a break. Then I'd go and sit in the dressing room and do needlepoint, because I got this doing needlepoint with Barbara used to do needlepoint, and she started me on that. So I used to just do, or I would sit at the back and wait to be called. It was like going to work in a factory, really. It was, you just get up, you go to work, you do. It was, and some nights we'd work till really late, and those great big arc lamps in those days, it's different now. It used to be so hot on that set, and it was tiring. It was really tiring. And I used to do all her doubling in the spacesuit. Yeah, I used to do all that. I'm claustrophobic, so was she. So it was horrible. It's so hot in there. With all the lights and you with that helmet on and a sort of a hat on underneath the helmet. It was very hot, but that's what I used to do. The first season, there was a lovely atmosphere, and we were all friends together. I'm still in contact with Clifton, and we're still Prentice, all of them. We still keep in contact after all these years. And but the second season, that was something else. It wasn't as nice as the first season.
But then, while I was working for the Space 1999, I keep hearing, I think it was a gossip, but I keep hearing all sort of things. And then I thought, my God, what's going on? And then, of course, they never went to the third season.
I think people were hoping, but certainly not hoping that Freddie Freiberger was going to be in that. But also, well, I don't think they got the money, did they? They didn't get the money. And I'm surprised, really, because everybody's tried to... Because it was a good series, and it still is. I mean, people still watch it today, which I cannot understand why they didn't, and why people have tried to do another series, and they can't, because isn't it the ITC or somebody's got the rights, or I don't know who, but I know that a couple of people have wanted to do it and to put money into it, but they can't seem to do it.
I'm so happy that I did something for this, this family, and then I'm still missed, especially Sylvia and Gerry Anderson. They were such a kind people.
Well done, Chris.
Well done, Ross.
Well done, Ross,
He was on
yes.
camera the
Fair
whole
enough.
time, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
He was literally a static still shot.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just in the background.
Just in the background.
I'm
See
green
if you can
screened
spot
in.
him. Yes.
Great. Really interesting. I hope we have a couple more next week, perhaps.
We
potentially.
have several more in the can.
Brilliant.
I think next week. I'm in a bit of a mood for a second series guest star.
Okay.
And I'm in the mood for a first season guest star.
Right, okay. Who
Let's
did you
not
have in
say
mind?
who that is.
All right, okay, join us
But,
next week to find out.
yeah.
Like it, good. In the meantime, it's time to hear from those without whom this podcast wouldn't be a thing at all.
Right.
And I would be sitting at home sunning myself in the garden instead of sitting here.
Indeed.
Yes. I wouldn't be sunning myself. I don't like the sun.
Fair enough. It's the voice of the Podsterons.
Hate the summer.
This is the voice of the Podsterons.
Greetings, presenters of pristine podcasting.
Greetings and felicitations.
Continuing my watch of Gerry Anderson shows in order, I've now finished watching The Protectors.
Oh.
Yes, this is from Ben, who says, I've never properly seen the spy genre of the 70s, so I'm not sure how it ranks with the Avengers and others, but I enjoyed the chemistry of the three leads and the location used to film.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
It's like Brent Weatherford. I've done it again. Brent Weatherford.
Yes, we know exactly what you mean. Writing did vary in quality, yes, that's very true. And unlike other Anderson shows, there weren't excellent models or effects to fall back on, but some episodes were brilliant. Yes. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
And it's a fun half-hour romp that's well worth watching. I might be wrong, but I did notice that in season 1, the three leads seemed to be part of an internationally recognised organisation, but then in season 2, it seemed like they were more just like freelance investigators.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough. I didn't know if anyone has ever compared them, but the Protectors organisation kind of felt like Thunderbirds' network of field agents, but minus international rescue, with the technical equipment in Harry's house and the Contessa being a bit like Lady Penelope.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I think that's a direct
strong
parallel, isn't it?
Penelope connection there.
I also watched the pilot film The Investigator. And although I don't think the concept is as strong as previous shows, the voice acting was great and the puppets were lovely.
I agree with one of those statements.
Okay, with it being a European setting, it also kind of felt like a Protectors episode with a sci-fi twist. Toodle pip from Ben. P.S. I think Andrew Clements has already confirmed this in the YouTube comments, but are the episodes listed in production order in the new Thunderbirds Blu-ray? Thank you for making this set. It's the purchase I'm most looking forward to this year, apart from my first house. Says Ben. Well, I hope that goes well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was quite a lot to get through there.
Yes, so what's the news on the production order of the Thunderbirds Blu-ray set?
Yes, production order, yes. So
Yes.
it's got, if it's City of Fire episode 3, Sunprobe episode 4, Uninvited episode 5, and on from there, that's the production order. That's what we're going with.
I see.
Take it or leave it, like it or lump it.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, and some great thoughts on the Protectors there.
Yes,
I probably agree with all of those.
And in fact, you mentioned the computer there at Harry's flat, which we saw a few weeks ago.
Yes.
In the second series, I think that is gone from the flat set. Interestingly,
okay.
it does
Yeah.
become just the three of them. I don't think there's any mention in series 2 of the international organisation that they are in series 1.
I think I prefer the sort of freelance aspect.
Yeah.
I think that's a more successful concept for me, personally, rather than being part of an international organisation. I don't know. Yeah,
room
just
for
me.
both.
Yeah. One for you, Chris.
Yes. Hi, Jamie. ...
Yes.
And Richard.
Oh, yes.
And Chris.
Ah.
And Ross.
Yes.
You
It's
know,
implied.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Zero X Captain Rich Goodborn, recently promoted for services in the LAPD and busting Lieutenant Brogan's chops, reporting in.
Oh, yes. Must have got a mention in the book. That'll be
Oh,
it.
right.
Yes.
Okay. On the Sunday before Gerry Anderson Day, I did my part of the Thunderbirds 60th virtual race. Yes.
Okay.
Are any of us taking part in this?
Nope.
I keep thinking I would like to.
Oh, maybe
I
next year.
never click the button. I can still do it this year. Doing a 10k walk around Slough, starting at the Moxie and looping around visiting the former AP Films and Century 21 sites of Stirling and Ipswich Road.
I see.
What was more ironic was a coach branded Anderson Travel parked outside the Moxie.
That's where he is.
Yes, one can only imagine it was doing the Crossroads to Crime tour before meeting the Ander Cruise by the Thames. Looking very much forward to all the Anderson events over May and June in Leicester for screenings of Supermarionation on the 5th of May,
Right.
Space 1999 in June,
Right.
and with my fellow Potters Arms members in Stockport to see Thunderbird 6.
Amazing.
Be nice on the big screen.
Yeah. Gosh.
One question. Jamie hinted at trying to show a couple of 4K episodes of Thunderbirds later on this year. Is there any movement on this happening? FAB, SIG, SPA, Rich Goodborn, Captain Zero X, and LAPD.
Well done, Rich.
Well, we can exclusively reveal that as Jamie isn't here, we can't really.
Yeah.
we
Was
don't know.
that a serious suggestion of his, or was it just kind of it would be nice to see Thunderbirds in 4K?
Probably
on
somewhere
big
between
screen?
the two.
Okay.
Every episode, all screened
Yes.
at the IMAX is
Wow.
happening.
Or every
Really? Is it?
cinema,
Yeah,
every
why
cinema
not?
across the land, mandatory viewing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. All right. Well, watch this space. Ross.
Hi guys. Don't know. I'm pretending to be
That's
Chris
very
Dale
good,
there with
yeah.
waving. I have just listened to the podcast featuring the first episode of Captain Scarlet.
Oh, yes.
Although I grew up watching the previous Supermarionation series, I guess I was the right age for this to become my favourite of them all, although it is very hard to beat the tension and engineering that comes from Thunderbirds. Whilst obviously Scarlet was the eponymous hero, it is bad that, of all the characters in the show, the one that I looked forward to seeing and I think most interesting was undoubtedly Captain Black.
Yo.
As the embodiment of the Mr. On threat, it seemed logical that he would have a continued presence to focus the alien activity. He
Yeah.
gave Spectrum an enemy that could be identified and targeted.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I came to watch the new Captain Scarlet series, I was pleased that the character had a greater part to play with more on-screen time. Thanks for all your efforts at keeping the Anderverse active.
We try.
Cheers, CJ in London.
Thanks, CJ in London. Yeah, interesting.
Captain Black,
So
yes.
when it came to making a new Captain Scarlet, obviously that was an opportunity, I suppose, to see what had worked in the original series and to keep the best elements and even expand them.
And
use
Captain
them.
Black is a completely different animal in the CGI
Right.
show to the original. And to be honest, I couldn't pick between them. They're both wonderful in really
Yeah.
different ways,
Yeah.
Which is great because that's what the show itself is.
Yes.
It's wonderful in so many different ways.
Yeah,
Great.
I agree.
Good. We'd love to hear your comments and get your emails at podcast@gerryanderson.com. Please keep them coming in. I have to say, we can't read them all out. I mean, I think for this month we had almost 30 or so. 30? Yes.
Wow.
And I have to really kind of whittle that down to a dozen or so. So apologies if you don't get read out, but they do all get read out in the privacy of my own home.
You're like Professor Popkiss, sat in your bed last thing at night, writing your wine list.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Now, you mentioned the randomizer a little earlier on there, Ross.
Yes, indeed.
I think it's about time that I press the big
You're
red
gonna
button to
press
see
the
what we're
button,
going to
are
watch
you?
this week.
Okay.
Right, I'm hoping for something really good this week.
good?
I'd like something sort of late live.
Oh.
Hang on.
Stretching there.
Well, perhaps it's just as well that Jamie isn't here for an episode of Joe 90. Chris, tell us everything we know about Joe 90 in 5 seconds.
Joe 90 is 9 years old and he kills people.
To what, does he?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's find out.
Yes.
Specs on for me. So there'll be a lot of people very pleased about this.
Yes.
Maybe a few people not quite so pleased.
Yeah, but he's not here, so,
We could just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Without
I have
him
to say.
sat there going,
Yeah, I know, that's right. But look, we're straight into possibly one of the most imaginative and exciting title sequences.
yes.
Certainly one of the greatest themes, I would
Oh,
think.
fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
Beaten only, I would say, by the end credits theme, which
Sure.
is just
Yeah.
slightly better, but yeah. And there isn't really anything even happening in this opening titles, and yet everything is happening.
Yes, that's
Because you've
right.
got these wonderful props to look
Yeah,
at.
exactly. It's so beautifully shot
It's
as well.
so beautiful, and the music is so happy.
Well, I hope the content of the series lives up to this promise.
Oh, well, this episode,
Yeah.
I believe, is written by Shane Rimmer.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
It's a bit of a bloodbath.
Excellent.
Yes. That's what we like from Joe 90.
Yeah.
I think Joe 90 has some of the best effects work of the model units of Supermarionation days.
Yeah.
I think. It's definitely the strong point of the
yeah.
series.
Cha-cha-cha.
There we go. Where are we? Again, you're speaking of great model work.
A snowy wasteland.
Already.
We're in Canada.
Of course we are.
Yes. Shane Rimmer's old stomping ground.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Breakout. And now I recently saw a picture online of the late great Derek Meddings.
Oh, yes.
In a very similar landscape to that, creating some model effects for a James Bond movie.
Oh,
One of the Pierce Brosnan
that'd be
movie.
Goldeneye, yes. Old music from XL5 here.
Right.
Barry Gray digging into the old tapes.
Yeah.
Joe's on holiday with his dad.
That's pretty good, isn't it? I've got a scarf. Love it.
Take it easy.
He's got his own string, do you think?
Control man. Don't worry.
And I'm assuming this is some extension of the rolling road principle that they
Yes.
use for aircraft taking
Yes.
off models. But they would rarely do something like that on the puppet stage.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think it really works.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Over the cliff.
Oh, what? They
See
almost
what you're missing,
died.
Jamie? Look.
Joe, are you all right?
Yes, Dad, I'm okay. I must have pulled a bit heavy on the brake.
I
Yeah.
know you've got the brain pattern of a bobsleigh champion, but even experts make mistakes.
I'll remember, Dad.
He's got the brain pattern of a bobsleigh champion.
Yeah.
But what, for why?
So you can go on holiday and ride a bobsleigh.
It's
it's
used
not
for
bobsleigh, but
recreational use as
Yeah,
well.
why
this
not?
whole
Yeah.
big rat thing.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah. I think they say in an early episode, we're not going to use it for personal gain, and then they sort of start going on holidays and things, bending the rules fairly early
Yes.
on. And here we have another lovely model.
Oh, it's a great vehicle design.
Yeah, this is repurposed from a previous episode where it was green.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So not a great deal of repurposing going on.
No.
What do you mean up there?
Orton to work detail 3. Come in, please.
Number 3 here, sir.
Brown telephone.
Ross?
Yes, lots
Exciting,
of
isn't
lots
it?
of
Yes.
telephones in this run of episodes.
Roger.
Okay, Eddie, let's get back to the penitentiary. We don't want to get stranded out here with those two in the back.
Okay, I think they're probably going to get stranded out there with those two
With those two in the back. That'd be a turn up for the books, wouldn't it? Yes. So a couple of prisoners in the back of the prison van.
They're remarkably well dressed for a couple of prisoners, aren't they?
Got to keep warm.
No, not a chance. I told you my parole comes up in 6 months. Maybe you get a parole in 6 months. Maybe you don't. But my way is for sure. You think about it.
Okay.
Okay, that's it for today. You fire as well tomorrow, and you do the old man proud.
What? Why are they firing?
They're practicing for tomorrow.
Sorry, what's happening tomorrow?
Well, the president's coming through.
Oh, I see, I missed that
yes.
as I was talking.
I think he's the son or grandson of the guy who was the statue. So they're doing
Okay.
firing in honour.
Yes, he seems to have caught on pretty quickly. Well, we're certainly enjoying our holiday here, Pat. It was good of you to ask.
Lovely crackle of the wood and
Yes,
the fire.
isn't that lovely?
It's very cozy.
It's so cozy. This show does cozy really well.
Down on the hill this morning.
Did you see the statue?
In addition to people having their brains blown out.
General James McCormick, one of this country's greatest heroes.
McCormick? That name sounds familiar.
Well, it's quite a common name.
Yes.
It's the name of our Prime Minister.
It's the ancestor of one Kenny McCormick from Colorado.
On his way to a conference. A mighty important one, too.
Gotcha.
That gun is going to mark the occasion with...
I mean, there it is in a nutshell. Perfect, thank you.
Why are they using live ammunition, Uncle Pat?
For laughs.
Oh,
So that the prisoners can escape, of
yes.
course.
So that we have a story.
Yeah.
There's no danger.
The
There's no danger.
effects crew have got some old explosive charges knocking around. I love the environment that they set up here of the snow, and you get the sense that there's nothing for hundreds of miles.
It's of a lifetime, kid.
All right. Lights out. Knock off the chat. Anything you say, guard.
And I've often wondered if this puppet was modelled on an actor named Mike Pratt from Randall and Hopkirk.
Yes.
It does facially, it's very craggy.
Interesting.
I love this shot as well of Joe, and then we slowly pan over to the living room again.
Ah, yes. Great use of the music as well.
Yeah. And the sound effects as well of that wind.
Escape, they probably...
And the snow.
It's a big contrast to Supercar from
Yes.
last night. This is a well-oiled machine at this point, isn't it?
Yes.
Sure. I can take him up to Snowcap. I get a good view from there.
Thanks, Matt. Well, it's getting late. I'll say good night.
Good night, Mac. See you in the morning.
I'm going to sleep here.
Yeah.
The rest of the episode is a dream.
Oh, no.
Dreaming about Jimmy Gibson.
Be right with you.
And I think we've got an unusual shot here of him jumping off his bunk.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, leaves in 25 minutes.
You just see his feet land. That's quite unusual for the.
I think that was quite good.
Yeah, it implies more of an action than that puppet is actually able to do.
That's right.
So he's tucked away a gun in the other guy's bunk. Don't know what work it is exactly that they do on the work detail.
No. Now, the episode is called Breakout.
Breakout, yes.
So I think that tells us something of what's about to happen, potentially.
Could do.
Number 3, work detail.
Yeah. Get Marnie back here, on the double.
Sure, Chief. But what's happened?
We found a gun under his bed.
Ah.
Better check him out first to make sure he hasn't got another.
Right. You stay here.
I'll handle this alone.
Hey, we're stopping. It's a bit early, isn't it?
Okay, you Marnie. Come on out. Slowly.
What?
What's this all about?
Yes, he doesn't know.
See if you got any more guns stashed on you. Now, just step up.
Guns? What are you talking about?
About how you just lost your parole, buddy boy.
Ooh.
Time on you for this.
Ow.
Oh, I felt that.
Yes.
Clang.
Pierre?
I knew I shouldn't have let it go alone.
Detail number 3 here. We're in trouble. There's been... Come on, Money.
I told you, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Just shot him. Wow.
Yeah, so they're both dead.
They're dead.
Yeah.
You stay and you find out how many years they're going to tack onto you for this.
But I love that about this show. You go from the nice, cozy, sitting around the fire talking, and then it's like people getting slammed in the head with bullets and bits of metal and such.
All right, I'm coming. If I ever find out you had anything to do with this.
Come on.
Which he did.
Yes.
Because we saw him.
Now, they're not going to pull the bodies out of the truck and take the truck.
Right.
They've got something more important in mind.
Monument Hill and Bridge area right away. I'm afraid we can't go up to Snowcap, Joe. We can't take
That fire looks
huge.
Yeah,
in
slightly too
scales of the
big.
puppets.
Yes.
Oh, are they going to hijack a train?
Do you want them to hijack a train?
Yes.
Yeah?
Prime Minister,
Yes, Robbins, what is it?
we're right on schedule.
Who is this like the same puppet as well that plays the sort of world president?
The world president, yeah. He's
puppets
always playing
Prime Minister.
politicians.
Right.
And,
That's brilliant.
He just doesn't have a face for a villain.
All right, look sharp.
Yeah, he just looks like a statesman.
Yeah.
Are they going to commandeer the live ammo in the cannon?
I think they might do, yeah.
Minute whistle.
But we've got to kill some more people first.
Wow. What?
Oh.
Dear, oh dear. They had little backstories and everything.
Yeah. And what's interesting, and I never noticed it until the Blu-ray, the second guy who gets shot, if you watch it frame by frame, he's got a splash of blood on his throat.
Gosh.
It's like they were not making a kids show here, which is weird.
Yeah,
because
isn't
it's got a kid as the star, but yeah.
That bridge has got to collapse if I know
Oh, yes.
Gerry Anderson
Of
shows
course,
well enough.
Yes.
Prepare to fire.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, we're sort of reenacting an old episode of Thunderbirds here.
Yeah.
Where a train got stuck on a bridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just
tense.
Is there any more ammo in the... Why don't you just hit the train?
Oh, the train's just reversing. See ya.
Yes, go on.
Very good aiming.
Really
I would
good.
Imagine aiming with a cannon is not easy.
Okay.
So now we have the train trapped.
Money, we did it. We stopped them cold.
Why,
High
though?
five.
Yeah.
We stopped them cold as well.
Ah,
In the snow.
clever.
Sir, they've shelled the bridge.
Oh, that's what that was. Those loud explosions.
And whoever it is intends us to stay here for a while.
Why? We don't know why.
You mean the bridge didn't just collapse of its own accord?
Ransom.
Money.
They want things.
Let's call up our friends and talk terms.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes, this president on the train has a line in fairly redundant dialogue.
Right,
He sort
okay.
of states the obvious a lot of the time.
We're trapped on a train on a
Yes.
bridge.
There's nothing we can do about
What do you want?
it. I like to hear the dogs barking as well. I want to see the dogs.
And a helijet.
Are you crazy?
No, Captain. I am not crazy.
I want $1 million in used banknotes and a helijet put down 100 yards from the gun.
Tell the pilot to walk away, and we'll take over.
And no rescue attempts, Captain, or that train gets it right away.
You've got 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
30 minutes, not long.
It's not very generous, is it? Oh, we're going to talk about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe. We must think of something fast.
Hang on, he's got the brain patterns of a bobsleigh chap.
Bobsleigh, yeah. Bobsleigh him to safety. Yeah. More old XL5 music.
We've been here over half an hour now, Robbins.
I mean, there's a flaw in the plan, isn't there, really? They potentially fatally weakened that bridge, which could send the Prime Minister plummeting to his death.
Yeah.
No ransom.
There's no sense thinking about the conference now.
I've got to think about it. It's the most important thing in my life.
What about me, sir? I'm not overly keen on... No, I'm not going to scratch that.
I don't know how you two talked me into letting Joe take that money up there. You're sure you want to go through with this, Joe?
He won't trust any of your men, Captain, but he won't think twice about me.
He's the best one to do it, Pat. Just be careful, Joe. They're dangerous men.
Don't worry, Dad. I think I'd better be going, Uncle Pat.
Right.
Yes.
Well, yes. I think I'd better take this money and I think I'd better be going.
Just run.
He was never seen again.
No. That would be a twist. I'd like that, yeah.
That's what happened to the voice actor. We've never been able to track
Yes.
down.
Ooh.
Captain?
Good job they didn't miss then.
Captain Morin.
Rial, what was that shot? Your money's on the way up.
Yeah, with one of your men bringing it. Reload money.
No, Rial. The money's coming up with a young boy. He's only 9 years
He
old.
seemed annoyed that a grown man might bring the money. That's just, I want a little
What were you
schoolgirl or
expecting?
something. Yeah.
Good thinking. We'll be waiting. And so will the man on the train.
Yeah, I think you were holding the phone a bit too far away there. I don't think you would have heard that.
Oh, dear.
This bridge won't hold out much longer, sir.
It'll hold, Robbins. It's got to.
You're in denial, sir.
There is, Robbins. There must be.
Yay.
Here comes their only hope.
Yeah.
Morin wasn't fooling. Here comes the kid. Wave him in.
And then let's leave fast, okay, Rial?
Rial, Captain Moran. The helijet's flying in. You'll have it in 10 minutes.
Right.
Well, you're really seeing the light, Captain.
Your boys just arrived with the money.
We've met our part of the bargain, Rial. See that you meet yours.
Don't worry, Captain.
Okay, Money. Let's check the suitcase.
Right.
And then shoot the kid.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
You just sit still, kid.
Rial, look at this.
I'm looking at the dead bodies in the background. Oh, dear.
Money. Was it worth it?
Boy, I've got mine spent already.
Hey, kid. What's that case?
He brought it with him.
It's my special WIN agent's case.
Open it up. I said open it.
What? What?
I love how genuinely dangerous all this feels.
Yeah.
A gun?
Why did he bring the case with him?
We're expecting trouble, huh?
I wasn't.
Well, he might need to shoot them before they shoot him.
Here's the helijet money. Cover the pilot till he walks clear.
Then shoot him. Shot everyone else.
Put the body with the rest.
Yes.
Can I send a message to Captain Moran?
With that toy transceiver? Sure, kid, sure. You go right ahead. Ready, money?
Yeah, would that actually be able to fly?
Oh,
well, it's a helijet.
Yeah.
You can start the rescue.
The pilot's clear. Let's get to the helijet.
Rescue, he said.
Yeah, you probably could re-edit this to put Thunderbird 2 in or something.
Yeah.
Look, they've started the rescue.
What the kid? That transmitter. It must be real.
And so is this gun. All right, that's far enough. Put your hands up.
Oh, blimey.
Another one for Joe.
He shot and killed someone.
He's not dead, I don't think.
Oh, that's all right then.
But he might die later on. Ah, now Joe's been shot in the hand.
Just come forward. Slow. Money. Can you make it to the helijet?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then I'll die.
I've still got some blood.
Oh, bit of Thunderbirds music there.
Yeah. And what about the driver of the train? Are we gonna?
Nah. Whatever.
We've made it, sir.
International Rescue saved us.
This could quite easily be a Thunderbird story.
Yeah,
If you swapped Joe for Lady Penelope.
Yeah.
And had international rescue as everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Wow, so they were the only two people on the train worth saving.
Yeah, the driver, forget him, yeah.
I'm sure it was automated or something.
Well,
in this universe.
in the model you can see figures up front in the cockpit at the front of the train. So yeah, they're dead.
Kids with us, Captain.
Very heroic music for
Yes.
getting 2 people
Dying,
clear.
everybody's dying.
They're getting away.
Oh no!
They're jetting away.
They're jetting away.
Jump them! They're jetting away.
We'll never see Joe again.
Let Joe anywhere near them.
We mustn't give up hope yet, Pat. And at least everyone on that train is safe.
Yeah, about that.
Right.
We're not sure. Yeah. Everyone in the puppet shots is safe. Not sure about the model shot.
I'll put it into autopilot and come back there.
He does care about his murderous friend.
You just sit there, boy. And don't make a move.
Whatever you do, don't take control of the helijet.
Okay, Money. Now take it easy. You're going to be all right.
I'm here for you. I love you. Don't die on me.
Are you crazy, kid?
Told you.
Get away from those controls.
Hey!
I think this sequence works with the puppets wobbling around in the.
Yeah.
And this music is great. I love this theme. Oh,
I mean, I'm sure there's a sequence like this at the beginning of one of the Bond movies, Spectre, I think.
Could be, yeah.
Over the crowd.
Yeah.
I was thinking For Your Eyes Only,
Right.
actually.
Oh,
And
yes, of course.
over the chimney stack.
Yes.
But Joe 90 got there first.
Quite right.
I don't understand. They've turned back.
Now Joe's going to dump the bodies out the window.
Come on, Mac. Let's get over there.
But so he just knows how to fly.
Yes.
That's not because of any implanted brain patterns or anything. It's just
Wait and see.
maybe the controls are very similar to a bobsleigh.
Could be, yes.
All right, Marnie?
You still see those bodies in the background there.
Joe, are you all right?
Fine, Dad. Everything's all right.
Ignore the blood on my hands.
Yeah.
What happened?
Ooh.
Where are Rial and Marnie?
They're in there, Captain. They'll tell you all about it.
Plum.
I still can't get any sense out of those two. Rial keeps babbling about everything going out of control and some kind of WIN agent.
I was the WIN agent, Uncle Pat. After I got behind the controls, I jumped the helijet around, keeping Rial off balance.
Yeah.
Till he fell against the side and knocked himself out.
Yeah.
And then...
Business again. That's quite an imagination, Joe, but I sure would like to get to the bottom of this.
I literally just told you.
Yeah.
Joe?
Yes, Dad?
And how does he think that Joe managed to do his arm in?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have helped.
I don't know, Dad. I just felt I knew how to do it, and I did.
Joe, either these brain patterns aren't wiping clean, and you're retaining some of them, or we've had a mix-up in the tape numbers.
Well, I don't know the answer, Dad.
Let me just check. Here it is. Guy Flambeau.
Whole book of brain patterns that they've stolen.
Sleigh champion.
What does it say just below that?
All-round sportsman. Billiards champion. Crack shot.
Billiards.
The helicopter pilot's license.
Can't let see Joe play billiards
Yes.
now. Clean up the table.
You told me about reading the small print, Dad.
There we go. Do you mind changing the plaster on my hand now, Dad? Oh.
I mean, the thing is, I kind of enjoy Joe 90, I think.
Yeah.
I do.
I think if you just go with
the
its
premise.
slightly flawed premise, it can be a really good show.
Yes, and actually I can imagine as a kid watching it,
Oh,
I think I would be enthused by the fact that a 9-year-old boy was the hero of the series.
Well, I think I was 9 when I first saw it, and I don't remember sort of imagining myself in that situation.
Yeah.
But I just enjoyed the series for what it was.
Yeah.
Especially every so often when they go completely off the rails like this and have a nice dollop of the old ultra-violence with people getting blown away left and right in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, the design is beautiful.
Oh, the settings in this
model
looks
work is
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The colours, I mean, even on this end sequence here, is lovely. The puppets are great.
Yeah.
And this particular piece of music.
Yeah.
I remember I was sat next to Lee Sullivan at the first concert, and he told me that he was tearing up when this.
Tearing up.
So it means a lot to a lot of people.
Well, I have a story about this tune, which I'll tell when we're finished.
Oh, yeah, great. Look forward to that. Nice.
Yeah, I love Joe 90, obviously. I've made no secret of that.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy this one,
Yeah.
partly because it's just so dark, and yet it still keeps that upbeat brightness.
Chris, your story then about the theme music.
Oh, yes. Well, about a month or so ago, I went to see John Coleshaw in his one-man show, and very good it was too. And you know when you go to see a show beforehand and afterwards as people are coming in and leaving, they will play music.
Yeah.
And very often it's chosen by the people who are in the show.
Mm-hmm.
He played that afterwards.
Ah.
Yes.
Did
as
he?
people were leaving.
Great.
And also when we were recording Thunderbirds, one of the Thunderbirds audios, I walked into the studio and he was there with his phone out, playing that to Genevieve Gaunt, going, and just listen to this bit, and listen to this next bit, and listen to the drums on this next bit. It's really good, isn't it? Yeah, so he was just so enthused. He loves that piece of music, which is great,
Love
because
it.
we all do.
Good old John Coleshaw. Fantastic. But what are our thoughts on Breakout from Joe 90? I mean, I'm going to score that pretty high, to be honest. I did find the story interesting and engaging, and lots of lovely kind of moments of tension with the music and the camera, and not much to not like there.
No.
I don't think. I'm going to go quite high, and I'm going to start the scoring off with a 4.5.
Ooh.
Yeah. Chris?
Well, I say I score episodes relative to their own series, and obviously I'm very fond of Joe 90, so, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4.
Are you?
There's a lot I like in that one. It's not absolute top tier,
Sure.
but it's nearly there. And I think for me, I hate to say it, but it is the violence. It's
Yes.
it's that edge to it.
It gives it a certain sense of jeopardy, doesn't it? That's right. Oh, so it's scoring almost as highly so far as Crossroads to Crime. Can you believe that?
High praise indeed. Ross, bring it home.
I thought it was a really tight episode.
Yeah.
It had all the ingredients. I'm going to go with 4.5 as well.
Wow.
Relative to Joe 90, I think, I've seen the series once through, so I'm familiar with all the episodes, and I was rediscovering it and thinking, this is a good one.
I think that's 13 out of 15.
Well done.
It really alarmed Jamie, I think, if he were here.
Yeah, I think the score would be significantly lower if he were.
But what's not
he's
to
not.
like? Yeah. Podsterons, what did you think of that episode of Joe 90? We couldn't find much to fault with it, really.
No, nothing.
So let us know what you think in the comments below, or email us at podcast@gerryanderson.com. We're going to be here again next week, would you believe?
Next week.
Yeah, we might have another episode from the Randomiser.
We might have a couple more Archive Space 1999 interviews.
And
in fact, we will.
I think we might do. And we might have a few more emails from our Podsterons too. Fancy joining us again, Ross?
Yeah, go on, one more time then.
Once more.
Thank God for that. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get started. Let's go.
Spectrum is green.
When you next go on holiday, whose brain pattern would you be taking with you?
That's really good, isn't it?
Well, I don't like stealing people's brain patterns. I think that's a bit naughty. No, I know some people do, but I've never been keen.
Okay.
But I think I would like to take the brain pattern of someone who isn't afraid to do something that I would be absolutely terrified of
Good
doing.
idea.
Like jumping out of a plane, for instance.
Yes.
I would die
Yes.
if I was in that situation.
Okay.
But with the brain pattern of someone who'd done it before and knew there was nothing to fear,
Yeah.
I could enjoy it.
Fair enough. I think I'd steal the brain patterns of Jacques Cousteau, who was a famous deep-sea scuba diver from the 1970s, so I could go do a bit of diving.
Adventurous,
Yes.
you two.
What about you, Ross?
I'm going to go more for a historian or something. So if I'm looking around,
Interesting.
medieval Europe or whatever, I've got a
bit of Simon Sharma or something.
A bit of Dan Snow, maybe. So kind of what's going on.
Interesting.
Going around.
Wow.
And also the brain pattern of a billiards player. Very important.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, impress your mates.
That was an Anderson Entertainment production.